so many cool projects here. I just get super excited about everything we just saw. Okay, so I work on a project called Verity, and we are a blockchain-enabled reputation API. We help people to identify, reward, and motivate great users and content. So what does that actually look like? So let's say you are a website that is trying to teach your users. This is a company, one of our partners called Teacher, and they are trying to create a $1,000 college degree. They've got all this content from teachers all over the world. But the problem is, how do we know which is the best content? There's no way, there's just a big listing of content, and we don't know which is the best content. No way to identify or reward that good content. Similarly, when I'm a student, I'm actually watching this content. No way to provide my feedback, no way for the website to know it was actually helping me learn. So what Teacher wanted us to do was take all this data they were getting about what the teachers thought of the content, about what the students thought of the content, about what actually happened. Did the students actually get a degree? Did they actually get good grades after taking that content? And they wanted to combine it all into a simple, easy-to-use solution. And so we said, perfect. You can do this with just 3 pieces of code. You've got the code you need to write to on your backend to combine all those pieces of data. You've got a cut and paste thing you need to add to your website that will bring in all our tools and our API. And then you've just got this one line of code you need to add on your HTML to display what we're about to display. And using that, you can immediately now say how effective each of these pieces of content are at actually teaching, at all the data that they're getting is instantly combined and instantly displayed to the user. And the user is able to instantly provide their feedback. And it's not just this widget here, there's a lot going on in the back end. We're learning about these users and their preferences, and we're also learning about the teachers and which teachers are creating good content. And if you go to another website and you want to learn, and that website also uses our API, you can bring your preferences and your reputation from site to site, and you're no longer locked in to a single website. So you might notice that when I talked about that, I didn't mention anything about the blockchain. And there's a reason for that. It's because we don't think that blockchain is a magic thing you can sprinkle on what you're doing and suddenly make people want to use it and bring users and all that stuff. The blockchain is very new. It's like the internet in the 90s, and a lot of those companies failed because they had this idea that the internet was the magic thing that was going to make it work. So we believe, and I'm making a plea to everybody who's building on blockchain right now, to start out with getting the users, start out with an actual business model, start out with an actual business, and then start sprinkling in the blockchain, and that's the route we're taking. Now in the long term, this is the future, right? And we see ourselves as a big part of that. Ethereum, you've heard a lot about these smart contracts, Ethereum today, where you can take this code that, and nobody controls it, and it is the same every time, and you can't delete it. But it's really hard to bring human wisdom and judgment into that. To say, is this content suitable for children? What was the score of the soccer game last Tuesday? The blockchain can't do that, but us, with our reputation and governance solutions, can. So we see ourselves as really the missing piece to the smart contract platform. How do you really bring human judgment and wisdom into that fold? And ultimately, we see, because of that, we see our token being as important as Bitcoin and Ether to the ecosystem. We see DAOs, similar to what Vega was talking about with Futarchy. We see our Reputarchy governance system as being key to these decentralized autonomous organizations. As we start to bring in reputation from around the internet, from all these different websites, we have this immutable database of the world's best experts in every subject that we can put for some of these really important questions and problems. And we see, just like Vega, this being used in corporate governance as well. Once people see the power of this universal reputation that's hard to game, that measures values, that measures skills, there's really some amazing applications for it. So, Verity.site is our website, and I'm open for questions.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, very interesting concept there. I cued in because you talk about teaching and content and expert, and that you make the claim like, well, if we have this expert database, it's going to help us solve the world's problems. There's a counter to that. There's lots of research that I just was exposed to in a book I'm reading right now about outsiders are more likely to solve some of the problems than people who are experts. So I think you need to keep that in mind, and you think about how do I work in those outsider parts as you're trying to solve the world's problems.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So the question was, you try and identify the world's experts. There's a lot of research who says actually problems are solved by people who are not embedded but are sort of outsiders. And one of the key things that our reputation does that real-world reputation doesn't is it's based on actual results. And because it's based on actual results, it's not, a lot of the problem with expertise right now is based on credentialing, right? It's based on, did I learn the things that everybody before me learned? Once you base it on results, I think you can solve a lot of that issue that you were talking about.
Okay.
Yeah?
What role does the token play in this?
Sure. So we measure three things with our reputation. We measure values, things like kindness and trustworthiness. We measure skills, which are I'm a great coder, or I'm an expert on, I'm an expert on Ethereum. And we also measure contributions to a community. So our tokens specifically measure are measures of the skills, and the reason we need tokens is it provides some security guarantees around that. Yeah.
So one of your slides mentioned, you want this to be the framework for future DAOs, or the template for future DAOs, and that's pretty incredible. But I'm just wondering, what role do human ratings play in the ideal DAO?
Yeah. So there are a lot of fuzzy things that it's hard to get from this result, from the skills-oriented stuff that we're measuring. Like, is this really an integrous decision that we're making? And the only way that we figured out how to measure that is through human rating other humans. So it's really the value side of things, and once you combine that with the really objective stuff is where really powerful stuff happens.
Could you compare against what Newport is trying to do?
Yeah, absolutely. So Uport is trying to do identity and self-sovereign identity that you own, similar to what MetaMask was talking about, but really tying that to real world, things you do in the real world. Now that is a key part of the ecosystem. What that can't tell you is that identity is trustworthy, things like that. So what we do is help with those identities, tell you about them, rather than saying, this is who this person is. Thanks, guys. Oh, wait, do I get one more? One more, okay. Yeah.
Is the student rating the only thing that influences the teacher rating? Like, is the student rating of the content the only influence?
Oh, so there was a slide there. There's actually three things that go into it. There's the student rating, which is, do I like this content? There's a teacher rating, which is based on my pedagogical knowledge, how good is this? And then there's the actual results. So, did this actually help me get a good grade? And those are all combined into that one single number that you see.
How do you determine those last two things, the teacher rating and the actual results? Like, how is that?
The teachers rate it the same way the students do. And the actual result gets tied back into, did they watch this video, for how long, etc.
You know what? You can continue asking questions at the happy hour afterwards. We're about an hour in. We're almost done. One last one. Thank you, Matt.